Do you know all the ATM hacks? Stay to the end of the video and I'm going to give you tips and tricks to make you a seasoned pro when you're in the ATM business. So this video is all about some of the service calls that I have experienced over the last, 30, 60, 90 days. To help you guys, when I was thinking about making this video, this is for the person who's just got in the game. Some of you guys are seasoned veterans, but it can help everybody out. Maybe it reminds you guys of what to do. And some of you guys are new, this will teach you guys of, hey, I just heard about this and now I'm experiencing this. So I hope this video helps you guys out there. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching the channel. All right, challenge number 1, communications. Now, some of you guys and most of you guys are using a wireless device to help you with your communications. Some of you guys are using point-to-point. I don't recommend that, but I know some of you guys are using that. And then most of you guys are using cellular devices. However, we recently, and from time to time, we live in a nice area where we have a cellular block. I don't know why, but AT&T doesn't work, Verizon doesn't work, the cellular signal is very low. Try T-Mobile, it doesn't work in this area. So sometimes we have cell service, sometimes we don't. Then what do? We get a service call. Hey, the ATM isn't working. We go reset the router or remote reboot it, and it works for 1 or 2 transactions, then it goes out. If there's a lot of people coming in the area, then the cell service goes even further down, and we do not get a good signal. This creates a challenge. So if this happens to you, what do? You have to use the store internet. You have to hardwire your ATM to the store's internet. I don't recommend this for most locations because if they change providers, then you're always the last to know. But in this case, it'll actually increase your transactions because again, when the customer comes and they can't get money, what do? They leave and they go to another store and then they stop going to that store. So your transaction volume will actually go down. So the only way to solve this issue is to put it on hardline, to wire it right to their modem or their router, and this will solve the issue of a communication error, and it'll solve that, hey, my ATM doesn't work. Point number 2, now this is what happened. We had a friend of mine, he had an ATM here in Chicago at a bus stop, said, hey, can you change the card reader? I said, no problem. I went in and changed the card reader, still didn't work. Told him it's not the card reader, something else wrong. Well, what happened is he changed Armored Car Service. When they did this, they didn't change the terminal ID number. So they changed the keys, they didn't change the terminal ID number. Guess what? ATM didn't work. So we went back in, changed the terminal ID number, ATM now worked. For you guys who are reprogramming, don't forget to change the TID from one ATM to another. Put the MasterCard keys in, doesn't work, and now why it doesn't work? One of the reasons is so oftentimes people get excited to change the master keys, they forget to change the TID. Remember to change the TID. So if you're thinking about starting your own profitable ATM business but didn't know where to start, stay to the end of the video and invite you to our free checklist entitled ATM Business Passive Income Checklist. 5 things you need to know to start your profitable ATM business so you can have a clear roadmap towards ATM business success. You can earn between $250 and $1,500 passive income every single month. All right, let's get back to the video. Number 3. Now, this is the cassette. This happens from time to time, and we're going to give you a close-up on this. So this is the cassette. This is what's in the cassette. Open it up. Box there. Put the money in there. And then a lot of times what happens is you forget to shut it like that. So you got to put the money in and then you let it swing back like that. If you don't, what happens is it stays there. The ATM works for a little while, but as the ATM gets empty, the bills fall down, now you get a service call. Don't forget to put the spring back. This is the most important thing. And I can tell you, so often it happens, you're not paying attention, you're talking to somebody, and it lets go. So please put the spring back. Again, we're going to give you a close-up of this. Now, some of you guys decide to lock this. Some of you guys do not. If you open it up like that, you don't have to lock it. And then it just makes it like that. Point number 4, something's in the card reader. You get a call, the card reader doesn't work. What happens, and this usually happens for whatever reason, it always happens at laundromats, also happens if you have a lot of Latino restaurants. It'll happen, I don't know, the kids are running around, parents are having a good time, and they stick coins in the ATM slot. I don't know why, and toothpicks. That's always a popular one. So your ATM doesn't work. What you have to do is you have to take apart the card reader. You can empty it out, shake it out. If you pull it out, you'll break the little brackets, little like fingers in the card reader. It'll break. You have to replace the card reader. If you're real gingerly and you can get it out without pulling it out, you can save the card reader. If not, then you'll have to replace the card reader. The card readers run you anywhere from $200 to $300. But if you get it out real easily, You can shake it, it'll come out most of the time. Then you don't have to replace the card reader. But the reason is because people stuff paper in there, or toothpicks, or coins, pennies. I see a lot of pennies in the card reader. Then your card reader doesn't work, your ATM doesn't work, your card doesn't clamp down, you'll get a bunch of fallback. All that's because people put coins or toothpicks or sometimes paper in the card reader. So sometimes you get a card reader error. You have to go to location. People call you, tell you, hey, ATM don't work. So you see, a lot of times you just see transactions not working. Why didn't it work for 5 days, 7 days? It's because on the card reader, because they threw something in there. So always take apart the card reader. You can shake it, and it'll work. If you pull the stuff out, sometimes you'll damage again the card reader. And point number 5, this one could cost you money, but could save you a lot of time. Here's what I recommend. You go to a location, it's an hour and a half away, sometimes 2 hours, depending on your radius. You know what? You get out there, do a test transaction. Put the money in, do a test transaction. This will save from time to time. I never used to recommend this, but you know what? After going back, you just came back 2 hours and you have to go back because something went wrong. Maybe you didn't put the bills in there right. Maybe you were in a rush, or maybe the ATM got stuck in a loop and you can't reboot it. So this happens. Wait for the ATM to come up. Make sure it's all ready. It says a welcome screen on it, and then do a test transaction. Some people do a test transaction all the time. Some do not. My recommendation is, hey, you know what? If it's a faraway spot, do the test transaction. A lot of times, maybe you only go to a spot once a month, or maybe you go every 2 weeks, but it's a long way away. So you know what? Do that test transaction. There are banks out there that don't charge for ATM transactions. Get it in your personal name. Do a test transaction. We have a wonderful branch around here. I'm not going to name any names. They didn't pay me to say their name, but they're a wonderful branch. They have a lot of ATMs, and they don't charge for an ATM transaction. I can get it and get the money reimbursed. So that's a nice savings part, but it also saves me money because we don't have to go back there. Sometimes this will save you a service call. You just do a test transaction, get your money out, and away you go. This is a nice solution, so you don't have to go back. Just do a precautionary measure just to save you guys a service trip. If you're thinking about getting into your own ATM business but didn't know where to start, I want to invite you to our free checklist entitled ATM Business Passive Income Checklist. The 5 things you need to know so you can start earning passive income, make more money, and spend more time with your family. If this is interesting to you, click the link down below and start your ATM journey today. Again, this is Phil from the ATM Mastermind Group page, where we buy your freedom back one transaction at a time. Thank you guys for making us #1 on YouTube, and we'll see you at the next ATM Mastermind.